Hi there and welcome back. This is the first module in the Getting Online section of the course. It's going to get quite technical, but only in the later videos. So right now I want to show you where it's going to get technical, and if you're not technically minded, how to avoid that and how to outsource the work to somebody who is. So this first video is going to be about DIY versus DFY, which is done for you. So do it yourself or done for you. So primarily this is going to be a time versus money trade-off. If you are time rich and you want to learn a new skill, then I'm going to be going through every single step in how you would get this website online yourself. So if you have time but not money, then you're covered. If, however, you don't have technical ability and you have more money than you have time at the moment, then you can certainly get everything here outsourced. And that will be pretty easy because I'm going to be providing checklists and quite detailed instructions and job posting text that you can use on the various websites. So you can find a contractor who can do it for you. And you should be able to find somebody to implement this for probably less than £100 or $100, more or less. Finally, there is one other option, which is my team can do it for you. We don't actually make any profit doing this. The main purpose is to make sure everybody who buys this course and who is enrolled gets the full value, and we don't want people to get stuck on technical hurdles. So we can implement for you based on a few criteria. My suggestions now are that even if you're not technical, watch the first couple of videos in this section, and by the end of this I'm going to be providing everything you need to be able to send to a web developer so that they can do the work for you. And you'll also be able to decide whether this is something you're interested in learning yourself. Later in the course, we actually talk about how you could start to sell this service, producing these websites, to other property sources or other people who are in the business of property. So if you did want to learn the technical skills, I will be showing you how to do it, and this could be a useful additional revenue stream for you later. That said, everything here can be done using the website files I'm going to be providing you, plus the checklists and the job descriptions, for about £100, probably less. I do want to run through three very critical terms. Even if you're not going to be building the website yourself, it's very useful to know this terminology so that you get a good deal and you can't be cheated. And this is just quite useful to know anyway. I'll try not to be too technical. So the first one I want you to know is domain name. This is pretty much the same thing as a website address. They're not identical, but for all intents and purposes they are the same thing. So propertysourcingbusiness.com is a domain name, so is amazon.com or bbc.com. What this does is it provides an address to your website. So the internet's a big place, so we need to have an address. That's what the domain name is. It helps people to get to your website. The website files themselves, they are the images, text, videos, the code that makes up the website itself. And the host is a computer server, which is just a big, very powerful computer that is online 24/7, 365, and this is where your website files sit and from where they can be accessed at any time. If you put your website files on your own computer at home, then your computer would have to be on 24 hours a day so that people could find your website. So instead we give our website files to a professional company who hold on to our files and make sure they're accessible all the time. It's very cheap, much more secure, and it's the common practice now. So using a property metaphor, your domain name would be the address of the property. The house itself is the server, and what's inside the house maybe are the contents, the furniture. So we use the address to find the house, which is the server, the host server, and then we go inside the house and we see the contents. In this particular case, it's the contents of your website. So again, it's the text, the videos, and the photos on your website. Another useful metaphor is a library. So we can think of the host server as the building, the library. The website files themselves are the books within the library, and then the domain name would be the what do you call it? It would be a library lookup code, so the shelf number and the particular location of that book inside the library. So why is this important? The main thing is you're going to need to register your own domain name, and you're also going to have to set up your own hosting package. The reason you're going to need to do it yourself is because it requires a credit card, and it's an ongoing recurring cost annually. So it is going to need your credit card details. Thankfully, it's very cheap. A domain name, I think, goes for around $10 per year, and hosting you can start at maybe £40 a year or something. So it's very low cost, but you don't want to be giving your credit card details to your outsourced worker to do this for you. So we are going to be covering how to get a domain name and how to set up a host, so you can do it with your own credit card details. If you have somebody that you trust, that you can give your details to, fantastic. Then they can probably do it for you. But for the people who don't have that useful person, and they're going to have to use a freelancer, I want to go through domain names and hosting so that you're safe as well. And maybe you already have a domain name and host, and this is irrelevant, and if so, that's fantastic. But we're going to be moving on in the next video to your domain name, which means we actually need to decide on your business name as well. I'll see you there in a second.